Since becoming a resident of the town almost 25 years ago, Glastonbury has certainly grown and changed. And yet the sense of family, friendship, and community has remained strong, which I believe is a testament to the town of Glastonbury. Hello, my name is Laura Amenta, and I have the distinct privilege of being the chair of the Glastonbury Greater Together Community Fund, along with this gentleman sitting next to me, Mr. Kennedy Hudner. In 2019, we came into existence because the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving decided to establish community funds in each of the 29 towns that comprise its region, one of them being the town of Glastonbury.
The Glastonbury Community Fund has 15 members on its board. We are a tiny little fund, specifically designed that way by the Hartford Foundation so that we could focus on some of the small nooks and crannies of what makes up the town of Glastonbury and help those who need some financial assistance to get their projects started or continued. It's been a lot of fun, and one of the comments we hear from all of the members of the board is that we've all learned a lot about what goes into making up our community.
Putting philanthropy into action to create lasting solutions that result in vibrant communities. This is the mission of the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, and by extension, it's our mission as well. Since 2020, the Glastonbury Greater Together Community Fund has given 25 grants totaling over $76,000 to nonprofits to better our community. These grants have gone to improve food services, mental health services, the environment, and more. In this video, you will see and hear about some of the work that we have invested in our community with our partners, the nonprofits, residents, and volunteers of the town. We are pleased to highlight the impact of just a few of the investments we've made in our community.
The purpose of the Glastonbury Friends of Robotics is to support students in Glastonbury in grades 2 through 12. The robotics programs teach the kids coding, building. In the grades 2 through 8, they're using Legos to compete in challenges and work on being a team together. And at the high school level, they're using Metal and Java programming and real electronics to compete against other high school teams around the world. So the high school team has existed since 2007. They need like $20,000 every year to run their program, and they have to raise it from local businesses or from grant funding. So I founded the Friends Club to help them raise money. I got a grant from the Glastonbury Education Foundation actually to start it with a friend, and we had 9 teams for grades 4 through 8 and 12 teams for grades 2 through 4, but now I have 35 teams in grades 2 through 4, and we've had up to 24 teams in grades 4 to 8, so we're the biggest program in the whole state. This library program is a double benefit because it gives the high school kids the opportunity to plan a program. They actually helped apply for the grant with doing the writing, and then they're the ones who will run it completely today for the younger kids. It's a great experience for them to learn about running something like this, and then for the kids participating, it exposes them to coding and building and the fun that you can have learning how to do the kind of skills that then would translate eventually to the high school team and then eventually to a career in engineering or robotics.
I like working with the Glastonbury Friends of Robotics because they help our team, and it really helps us give back to them and also the community. And it's very rewarding to also work with the kids because when I was their age, I was doing the same stuff. So it brings me a lot of joy to see them help them learn all this cool stuff.
I like working with the Glastonbury Friends of Robotics because it's nice seeing the kids figuring things out and having fun, but also learning new skills.
With the funding from the Glastonbury Community Fund, which we are super grateful for, we were able to partner with the Wells Turner Memorial Library to run this program for the younger students because we needed funding to be able to buy the kits that all the students will use and the iPads for the programming. And the equipment that we purchase, we'll be able to use for many years, so we can continue offering this free program once a month to younger students to get them involved in building and coding.
Your Community Cares is a nonprofit organization for the state of Connecticut that connects volunteers to older adults and people with disabilities. So we're trying to help maintain their independence as they're aging in place at home. So volunteers can help them with a variety of chores around the house, provide them with transportation to doctor's appointments or errands, grocery stores, or they could help them around the yard. They could teach them technology. It's really endless, the amount of ways that volunteers can support older adults and people with disabilities in Glastonbury. I'm a physical therapist, and as I've been doing physical therapy for the last 20 years, I realized many of my patients needed help to stay independent at home. So in 2019, I founded Your Community Cares. This is a website to allow volunteers to sign up on our website, to allow people that need help to sign up on our website. And once they create an account, that's how they can match in the same local area. So any Glastonbury residents that need help, go to yourcommunitycares.org. They sign up, they go through a background check, and then they can put out requests for help. And volunteers that have signed up and also been screened, then they can go and search what days and times work for their schedule, and they can accept the appointments that are convenient for them. So in 2019, when we first launched, we launched as a statewide organization in order for any town or city to get involved. And now we have about 800 community members. Those are the people that need help that have signed up. And statewide, we have over 700 volunteers that have signed up. So that requires a lot of funding for background checks, the website, the insurance, all of the parts of the program to keep this going. So we were looking for a way to establish this program in Glastonbury, and then we found the Glastonbury Community Fund. And that was a way to establish our program because we had some funding that allowed us to get participants to enroll on our website. And now these participants can stay on for years to come, and they can request help, and volunteers can assist them in their home. So we are so grateful for all of the funding we receive from the Glastonbury Community Fund.
The Glastonbury Farmers Market was founded approximately 10 years ago by some local Glastonbury farmers and small business owners. It has been held at Hubbard Green as well as other spots throughout the town. Every Saturday, local farmers, crafters, vendors, cottage bakers come where they'll sell their produce, handmade jewelry, candles, and other baked goods for our local customers. The board of the farmers market is committed to keeping the fees down for our vendors and cottage bakers who already have to incur several of their own fees through insurance and licenses. We also are committed to not having any fees for our farmers to attend. As such, for us to grow the market, we need to have some funds to support a marketing budget and also some market masters who provide consistency for our vendors and our customers each week. So this year, to really help us grow our marketing budget and to reach more people, we were lucky enough to receive a grant from the Glastonbury Community Fund. And with that, we have beefed up our marketing budget. We have reached out to some people to help us get the word out. And we hope to continue that next year to keep our fees lower as we grow the market to more vendors and as we get more customers from the community.
The Glastonbury Links Together organization started actually with 4 clergy members responding to a very direct need related to COVID. What happened was we'd gotten together to talk about how is it affecting our community, and we found out in the process of that conversation that the superintendent wanted to close the school to prevent the spread of disease. And he was concerned about the fact that there was a number of children who were dependent on the school for their daily lunch. And so his thought was, like, until we have the state funding in place to be able to provide those lunches for these kids, I don't want to cut them off from their food source.
And so we got together and offered to solve the problem for the superintendent. And we did that by holding a food drive and we held probably one of the largest food drives that Glastonbury has ever seen in St. Mark's parking lot on a 3-day notice. And we collected enough food to fill 500 grocery bags full of food and had distributions for 3 weeks.
What happened was we realized in the process of doing this one food drive that we weren't going to be able to just drop it and that was the end of it. We had picked up a responsibility in a real way to actually address food insecurity in Glastonbury, that there's clearly this need and also this clear interest in helping. And we needed to put those together. And so that's how Glastonbury Links Together came about.
We began to work with the food pantry here in Glastonbury. At that point in time, the food pantry was providing gift cards to families, and knowing that those gift cards were only going to go so far, so we provided additional gift cards to those families.
There have been many difficulties in developing a food pantry in Glastonbury. One was space, one is monetary donations, and also donations of actual food items. These are all challenges, and staffing and volunteers. So there's a lot that really goes into having a food pantry. We didn't have the space before, and we didn't have the infrastructure, which is a refrigerator and a freezer and all the shelving and the tables that you see here. And Glastonbury Links Together was very helpful in applying for a grant, providing a lot of support that we were able to get those things. That was the first step. The second step has really been in getting food items, keeping them on the shelves. We have been fortunate to receive additional grant money to provide those food items that you see in the food pantry.
So looking to the future, what we will do is continue to work on development and funding from our community partners, the congregations and the different organizations that we work with. We also look to the Glastonbury Community Fund for help with addressing food insecurity in Glastonbury.
The food pantry has expanded considerably since it started in February of 2023. We had about 115 households shopping per month, and we are up to about 200 households per month. We really hope that we're going to be able to continue in the future to work with the Glastonbury Community Fund to continue to support the food pantry to help the residents of Glastonbury.
So Amplify aims to help everyone. Actually, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. We serve as the Regional Behavioral Health Action Organization for the North Central region, which is 37 towns in Greater Hartford and Talon County. At Amplify, our mission is to advance healthy communities, and one of the ways that we do that is by amplifying best practices to ensure that the best prevention, treatment, and recovery supports are available to everyone. Oh my goodness, so the challenges that we face in promoting mental health and trying to increase resilience at the community level is, number one, is stigma. So a lot of people feel that they're alone. They feel that the problems that they're facing or that their family are facing, that that they're alone in that journey, and they're just not. So for us, that's the number one barrier that we come across. In addition to that, clearly resources. Oftentimes because people feel alone, they don't realize the resources that they can tap into to ensure connectedness and to make sure that they have solutions for themselves or for the family members in their lives that they love. And so we find that the support from the Community Together Fund is helping us to spread the word at a very young level and starting those conversations at an early age, which for us, that upstream intervention is the most important thing that we can do. Clearly, funding is a huge barrier for us, for agency like ours, in implementing the supports that we want to implement. And that's why the support from the Glastonbury Community Fund is so important for agency like ours, so that we can be involved at the local level. So for us, one of the areas that we've really been wanting to try to implement more at the local level is Gizmo's Possum Guide to Mental Health. And so Gizmo's Possum Guide to Mental Health is a curriculum that was actually it takes the Brown and Stanley safety planning tool and turned it into a children's book. But children have no idea that that's really kind of what they're reading as they go through the book. And so it helps them to identify when they're feeling mad, sad, or worried, to identify trusted adults in their lives that they can turn to, and helps them to start thinking about how to develop a mental health plan at a very young age. So those tools, if they can be developed at a very young age, they'll carry on throughout their lives. And so for us to be able to promote an evidence-based practice like that at such a young age is key. We're very grateful of the support from the Glastonbury Community Fund, and we hope that this is just the beginning of a long-term relationship with them. We're so grateful for their support, and we know that this support that they've given us is going to allow us to provide a program that we know is going to help children at a young age and probably save lives.